So we're kicking off our next fireside chat, and it's me and Ben again, which is lovely to be back here with the gorgeous creature that is Ben Bennett, back from his travels around London. It's nice to be back by the fireside, and this time we've got the fire on because we're in the depths of winter, and we're here to talk about middleware. So what is middleware? It's one of those questions that often comes up. The simple answer is middleware is software that sits between other pieces of software that allow those pieces of software to communicate when those pieces of software don't necessarily natively have the ability to communicate with each other from the off. So in many businesses, they will have integrated their software systems over a period of years, and middleware will be a crucial underpinning to allow all these different systems to talk to each other. So their warehouse management systems, their CRM systems, customer relationship management, and their ERP, which is enterprise resource planning systems, all need to talk to each other so the business knows where it's at any one time. Middleware allows those systems to talk to each other because those systems inherently don't have that ability to do that on their own. It works through a series of what is known as application programming interfaces, which are called APIs for short. Stop me if I'm boring you, but we do need to do this. It allows A to talk to B. It's as simple as that. And I think that sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, similar to the position where we are, you've got a whole industry that's made up of single use case solutions. And the old tech world was exactly the same. You've got businesses operating with their own agenda, with a view to solve one problem, and middleware companies are historically wise to the fact that there is an opportunity and a commercial opportunity and a functional opportunity to have these systems talking to each other.
Absolutely. So the next question is why use middleware? Why?
I think that comes down to 2 points really. There's the commercial motivation for companies to better leverage the data they've got across multiple systems, to help them either develop new products, better understand their audiences, marketing opportunities, and I think they're actually, from a PR perspective and a commercial perspective, they're the main leading points for that. You've got a very data-led industry at the moment across the world. We've gone from agriculture, industrial, and now data is very much the forefront of value for investors and businesses alike. So having little pockets of information across your business is great, but what actual value is it bringing to you as a business or your customers? So I think using it to have a far more commercial edge, a far more informed decision-making process as businesses will help both accelerate development, win more clients, engage more customers, and become a far more fruitful environment for businesses.
Absolutely, and I think one of the important things is what makes us unique is the fact that we have a blockchain solution, so that through this middleware, through one piece of business communicating with another piece of the business, by putting that through the blockchain, you can ensure that transmission of data has all the benefits that blockchain can offer.
Yep.
The transparency, the immutability, the ability to then take this information and put it on a distributed network rather than a centralized silo, so you're getting rid of those points of single vulnerability that are often very expensive for businesses to protect, and devastating if they're hacked. So blockchain as a technology and the combination with middleware is this perfect storm that I think that we've identified quite early on in the process.
Yeah, totally. And we've got to be really clear that they don't have to work together, and they can work separately. But I think if you are already using a middleware layer, there is a fantastic opportunity to use a system like Omnitude to then take that data and commit it to the blockchain. So while you're already moving it, put it somewhere of value, and then enable the additional value of added applications that either we provide or some of our partners will provide into the system as well.
Absolutely, and I think those are fundamental moments in enterprises' life cycles when they can free the data from these silos and actually use it. And it goes back to what you said earlier, I think, about this idea of business getting a much better idea of the reality of their business by being able to move this data around their business in a secure manner. Then they're much more liable to be able to have more people within a business to access it because of the security of putting it on the blockchain.
Totally. And there's dashboard creation, there's any number of reports you can run. It's all on a permission basis. So, if you're working in one of our enterprise clients right now, and you've got certain level of access to certain information, we can prioritize that. We can deploy that to the appropriate people and allow these reports to be run at certain levels. So it's a great opportunity to do that. And I think the more decisions that are data led rather than HIPPO is an acronym that is used, the highest paid person's opinion, rather than what people believe their company should be doing or what the leaders of these companies want to do. It's actually audience and data led, the better outcome for everybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. It builds leaner businesses, I think, much more competitive businesses, gives them an edge. Data, I think, we're seeing, as Ben's alluded to earlier, and he's absolutely spot on, is we are in the data age now. All this talk about the fourth industrial revolution and the onset of IoT and artificial intelligence and machine learning. All of these systems, all of these wonderful new technologies that we see come out, they're all going to have to speak to each other at some point. And so subsequently, they're all going to have to use middleware, because if they don't, they won't understand each other. So, and I think businesses understand that too. So middleware is becoming more and more and more important as businesses become more complex and they have many more data inputs into their businesses to try and understand what's going on.
Fundamentally.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When we're building what we're building, this blockchain middleware layer, we're using a hybrid system. Now, why are we using a hybrid system?
Well, it depends what you mean a hybrid system. So we're speaking about middleware and blockchain. That's a hybrid system. But then underneath that, we're speaking about multiple blockchains as well.
Absolutely.
So why are we doing it? Well, I guess there's a number of benefits of using different systems. So as most of you know already, we are building the primary elements of our business on Hyperledger Fabric. Within that, we're using Indy for our identity system. And then for our transactional environments, we're using the Stellar protocol. So we're pulling all of these pieces of different blockchains together to form an overall solution for those that want to use it. And then we're combining that with the middleware layer to enable it to be easily adopted. Now, you've got some very big players out there already, your IBMs, Oracles, SAPs, who are providing middleware layers. They're not the only provision of that service, but these are the bigger boys. And at the moment, their environments, to the best of our knowledge, aren't in a condition where you can adopt a vast array of these blockchain technologies right now. So we are seizing the opportunity to take advantage of these really groundbreaking pieces of tech, putting it into a middleware layer that we're really, really passionate about, and helping deploy that into environments that may already be using middleware in a more traditional sense, and plugging into that also, or completely eradicating and replacing that throughout the entire business solution.
Absolutely, and I think I did a talk at Oracle last month, and one of the questions that came up was, why on earth would you use middleware with blockchain? And I didn't have a chance to answer because the chap from Oracle answered it for me, and his answer was, why on earth wouldn't you? Because that is what the IBMs and the Oracles and the SAPs of this world are doing, is they're actually creating these APIs to interact with blockchains. That's what they're doing. That's their blockchain play, because they've already produced these giant databases and these giant legacy systems. And for them to remain current and alive, they have to integrate this new technology as well. Now, when you've got a business like ours, albeit we're a very small business, but extremely agile, they can plug into us tomorrow. because they're already preparing for blockchain systems as middleware. So it's not just us, but for us, we're a pure play. We're not doing it because we've got legacy systems that we need to keep selling. We're doing it because we've got a thoroughbred business that we think we can help these giant enterprises integrate all of their systems together and adopt the benefits of this technology. How did we get to the idea of middleware? Then, do you want to tell the story, or shall I tell the story?
So we've spoken a bit about Oracle already, but I think we need to talk about our Oracle. Chris Painter.
Yes.
So, you know, a lot of people know the story about Omnitude and where it came from. And I think those of you that know Chris's background and the background of Pixel by Pixel is there is a wealth of knowledge and experience in merging data, push-pulling data, systems integrations, the really murky environment of trying to get things talking to other things, running reports, making sense of the world of enterprise. And it's a dirty, nasty, disgusting place to be. Not impossible, but what Chris has done with the vision of Omnitude is enabled an environment that makes that quick, efficient, detailed, and all the benefits of everything that we've already explained get plugged into that. So, you know, I would say it was a joyous accident where actually the idea was born out of necessity, which all good ideas are, really.
I think so.
And it's certainly taken on a life of its own, but it's been stewarded by Chris and the rest of us to get to a point where we are now about to launch a product into beta. We're about to deploy Omnitude ID across 35,000 e-commerce sites and talking to very significant businesses, and I think that's just been a fantastic 18 months, really. Yeah. So that's the end of one of our sessions. We're going to be bringing this to you as a series of videos over the next few days, and if you've got any questions, as always, come and find us on our social channels. Thank you very much to Mr. Harris for joining me today.
Thank you.
And we'll be with you very soon.
Goodbye.